No, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. First of all, let us put it on record straight that the EFF is the first organization to introduce the Andristatane cleaning campaign. So therefore, it is disingenuous for the GP to come here on this podium and use this platform to take credit of a program that was introduced by a avant-gardist leftist party in society. So that's one. We reject the economic freedom. The economic freedom fighters reject we reject the proposed budget for the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, as proposed in budget vote for water and sanitation. Let me start by ukukhahlela inkosi zethu ikumkani nekumkanikazi zeli lizwe. Ngenxa yokuba rhoqo xana ngaba sithetha ngedepartment yakwaCocta sithetha ngomasipala abalelo emxokozweni. Oqala inkosi nenkosazana mazibandakanywe ekuthatyathweni kwezigqibo, ingakumbi ekuqulunqweni kwemithetho koorhulumente basemakhaya. Sanukubenza ceremonious, Minister, or envelope leaders, because they are not. You are not dealing with non-thinkers or people who must tell us tales about family trees and preserve culture. Second to that, there is a danger in viewing fatalities of our children in numbers, because there are human beings behind statistics. We must know the causes of injuries, as the most are assaulted in some instances. One death is one death too many. Therefore, there must be consequences and accountability for lives lost, and there is stigmatization that comes with amputations, as these children can no longer lead normal lives as men. The nature of death must be reported, and experts must be involved in making sure that there is investigation and apprehension of criminals who are only concerned with making money than properly taking our children through the rite of passage. Okwesithathu, we are very, very proud of our queens and queens, as all of us pass through them as men and women in rural areas as mentors of the community. Therefore, they must ensure that they are at the center of ensuring that children are actually finishing school. Therefore, the EFF advocates for the equal remuneration, respect and benefits, such as tools of trade and other instruments for their functionality, and as seen by the president of the EFF's treatment on King Buyelekaya Dalindyebo. The budget speaks about the Khoisan and the Amampondo, but excludes Amabhaca, Kamadzigane, Amahlubi of Kumkani Langalbalelo, who constitute 22 clans. Okugqibela kweli le traditional affairs, inkolo yabantu mayikhuselwe njengeyasentshona. Amaxhwele namagqirha mawanikwe inhlonipho, bakhelwe i-herbalist, ukwenzela ukuba amayeza abo afumaneke kuyo yonke indawo apho awasentshona afumaneka khona Camagu. We reject this budget because of failed state of municipalities, failed state of the department to conduct oversight role on the functionality and good governance that is expected from all spheres of government. We also reject the budget of a department that has no monitoring tools in place for local governments who repeatedly received disclaimed opinions. The reality is that local government continues to be characterized by dysfunctionality, financial mismanagement, in council and administrators' instability and crumbling municipal infrastructure. And according to this department's own admission, the state of local government report, only 38 out of 257 municipalities received a clean audit. And over a quarter of our municipalities are dysfunctional and at an increased risk of being placed under administration. Local government are continually placed under administration, an intervention which is supposed to be temporal. Yet local government such as Umzinyathi, Mpofana, Inkosi, Langalbalele in KwaZulu-Natal are still under administration for over 7 years. While Makana, Emfuleni, West Rand, Emalahleni, Govenbeki, Umsukwali, Tabachwe, Tukela have been under administration for over 6 years with no progress. Municipalities remain dysfunctional due to poor oversight mechanisms, weak administration, lack of repairs and maintenance of infrastructure, inability to perform on conditional grants, and poor collection and management of revenue. And to date, there has been no priority given to the causes of dysfunctionality, as municipalities remain deeply engulfed in corruption practices. As a result, they are no longer financially viable. Every year, the Auditor General paints a bleak picture about the future of these basket municipalities. And year after year, the narrative remains the same, as large numbers of local municipalities are given less than desirable audit outcomes. A case in point is the worsening situation engulfing Matlosana local municipality, where the municipality's service delivery problems stem from the dysfunctional fleet. There is also no hope that the sewer spillage, dilapidated roads and aging infrastructure and Gersibande Dr. J.S. Muroka will ever be repaired. There have been no unbelievable plans put in place to improve the administration of municipalities, and there has been no zooming into challenges faced in local municipalities, especially those which have not been able to raise money on their own. The main source of revenue of most municipalities remains rates and taxes paid by property owners and customers of municipal services. This includes government institutions that are not up to date with payments. However, this method is out of touch with South Africans' realities such as unemployment, poverty, and inequality that limits the meaningful economic participation. The collapse of municipalities signifies the collapse of service delivery, water infrastructure, roads and sanitation infrastructure. In terms of CWP, the EFF is concerned about the destination of the workers that are within the CWP, because the department does not have necessary central data to say that where they are going to go from here. How many have achieved permanent employment? There is no such within the department. And we see the dysfunctionality of these municipalities through the numerous service delivery processes which are held timeously across the country, some which have reported fatalities. In terms of Section 17 of the Constitution, it allows for protest. What the minister should be concerned about is not to stop the protest. It is to stop non-delivery of services first, and then you will ultimately stop protest. So long as the status quo still remains, protest will go on. Not even the minister have the capacity to do that. Chairperson, this department also fails at coordinating and coordinated disaster management system in this country. It has not given us enough reason to approve this budget. And in terms of water and sanitation, the EFF rejects the report on water and sanitation. Rural towns and rural municipalities like Don Donald, Glenmore, Chakastad, Manzana, Caroline, and Tlazach, all the zones there are still without access to water, such that it is Africans that must store water in drums and facility like that. No other race does that. We reject the budget because year after year out, our people living in rural areas affected by chronic lack of water are not accessing water. They devise their own ways in the presence of the department. We are also, Chairperson, about we are concerned about how there's some entities of the department who did not even report to the portfolio committee on water and sanitation, a demonstration that challenges facing our people are not taken seriously by this department. That even though our people still store water supplies in containers such as drums, buckets, and vertical water tanks, corrugated iron water tanks, and pale enamel, you find that the people of the Eastern Cape, the people of Mpumalanga, are the only ones water tankers. That's the circumstances they are facing, and that is the reality. Every time you go home, you find that status quo in place, and I don't know whether these water tankers are deliberate in the manner in which they are put there, because they are all supposed to be temporal measures, and they are perpetually there. Some municipalities have been having, Engusha, for instance, have been having that circumstances since 2030. The taps are dry there. The taps are dry. There's nothing that we are getting from the budget in terms of the targets that are aimed at ensuring that the status quo changes. Likwa local municipality, Dr. J.S. Muroka, Emakazeni local municipalities still are not able to provide adequate drinkable water, especially for the people that are staying within a white farmer areas. The so-called farm dwellers, the white people, they just close the water there. They come to the EFF and complain, and it becomes the duty of the EFF now to go and stop those white people. In terms of what is happening at that level, the resident of Amatol and Dlambe,
you have one.
Noted, Deputy Chair. The residents of Amatol, until today, do not have safe drinking water. It is almost the whole of Sarah Parkman in the Eastern Cape has no stable supply. There has been no indication as to how and when this department will approve the water services for 16 local municipalities in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and Northern Cape. Chairperson, this department needs to be decisive in consequence management and play a more proactive role to the state of governance. We will not approve a budget that makes no commitment to build capacity of the state to deliver services to the people. A budget that is rubber stamping the independence of all spheres of government on private companies to perform their own functions through tenders and outsourcing. Without this proposal, we are rejecting. Thank you very much.